it goes without saying, but cutting down on penalties has got to be,
Yeah.
I would imagine, paramount this week.
Yeah, we got to be a little bit more disciplined for sure. Try to eliminate the bad plays that we put ourselves in. If we eliminate maybe those penalties, we might have beat that team last week. And unfortunately, I mean, we didn't, but we eliminate some of those penalties, we'll look a little better. We got to, at the point of the season we're at, and we just got to figure out how to get better and get ready to be better,
Having been around this division, I mean, the guys that have been here, have they told you how much, like, the fans in Houston hate the Titans because of, they brought out the Oilers throwbacks last year and everybody got pissed off in Houston about that?
Right, yeah.
Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I'm a little aware of it. I don't really care about it, honestly, but I'm aware of it. I think I definitely like our uniforms and jerseys and everything a little better than theirs, but I don't care that much.
We've heard Coach talk about just red zone, shoring up the red zone a little bit, and this is like maybe the one thing this defense on the other side with Houston had a little bit of an issue with. Do you guys see some opportunity there?
Red zone?
Yeah.
Red zone days are tomorrow, I think, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
For you guys, what do you feel like you guys have to do to shore that up?
Just ball out.
Yeah.
Call the plays, make the plays work, catch it, score, run it, block, do it, just the normal. And I think we'll be fine.
With so much of the division ahead of you, does that kind of give you guys an extra boost this time of year when you are starting to find some groove?
I don't think it gives an extra boost. We just know we got some meaningful games in front of us, and I mean, we just want to play better, play more efficient, more cleaner, and I think that'll be good, set us up for things to come.
How good is a guy like Stingley? I think I'm the only one here that's old enough that was alive when his granddad played.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, man. These young guys, man, they're so good. They're fast, big, they're smart, confident. That's really what it is. They're super confident kids. And I'm not going to call him a kid. I think he's a grown man. I played against them a couple times, and, man, I like these guys, man. They got, good backgrounds. They come from LSU, DBU or whatever. And then, they just really good players.
When you get ready to go up against a quote-unquote name corner like that, how much does that energize you in terms of wanting to, perform well against them?
It doesn't energize me. It's just, I got to do what I got to do. Honestly, when it's a no-name corner, I get more like, I got to get him. I got to really get him. But, the bigger name guys, I look at them all the same. It doesn't matter, But Stingley's, he's definitely at the top of the list of, being a really good corner, and it doesn't matter to me, though.
Calvin, what effect can it have on the wide receiver room, the offense as a whole, when guys like Bryce and Nick are making plays like they are?
Man, I love to see it. I mean, we want the whole room to do that, and the whole room to have 1,500 apiece. But, I mean, you know how the season goes. But, no, it makes me feel real good, when my guys are making plays, they're happy, the room is feeling good, and it just, helps me get open, it helps them get open. It just helps all of us when, we're all making plays and building off each other. When I see them make a play, I want to go make a play. And when they see me make a play, they want to go make a play. So that's how I always play football. It's like it's a team game, and we all need each other for, the littlest and the smallest thing.
I mean, the way the season going, I'm hungry for a win. Man, about outplaying guys who was here before, or maybe if it was in a different spot with our record, that'd be something to give you some boost about. But other than that, I'm just trying to get a win.
You spent a lot of time with Nico, obviously, last year, lining up on the same line with him.
Yeah.
What makes him so solid, despite what everyone always talks about him, is his age?
Yeah.
Continues to produce.
Oh, he can rush outside, inside. He can rush up and down the line. He been in the game for a long time. Very knowledgeable of the game. You can talk to him about different things, whether it's pass rush, run. But, I mean, what 12th year, 13th year, something like that in the league, he's still getting the job done. Hats off to him. He motivates me. So I get up to that age, I always wanted to do what Nico doing, still getting teams, still getting paid. Yeah.
Their old line's given up a lot of sacks lately. Have you seen some things on film that maybe you guys can exploit from a pass rush perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it's a copycat league. The things that they struggle with as far as game, especially in the interior, we're trying to exploit that. We got to get them in those situations, stop the run, get them in second and long, third and long, and be able to get to them.
I know it goes without saying, but, penalties. You got to cut down on penalties this week. How paramount is that?
Oh, it's very
for all
paramount.
three phases.
Oh, very paramount. Yeah, on all three phases. It's just been one game is one phase, another game is another phase. We just haven't been able to play a complete football game. But it's very important to keep those penalties off so we can get off the field on third down.
I'm just living in accordance with what they had laid out and laid down, during the course of the game, and then we had to adjust pretty quickly. So unfortunately, we had 2 in one series, which was a killer. But now we just need to understand that the alignment of the tackles is their responsibility. We don't line up off the guards alignment. We line up off the center's alignment, obviously, and it's important that we, break the plane of the center's belt buckle or his hip area so that we show pieces of the body, on the center so that we're not illegal.
Is that a situation where it hadn't been called all year on you guys?
That's the first time we got called.
Is it more that crew using that as a point of emphasis? Or
I wouldn't
not
point
being-
that out. I wouldn't say that necessarily. Each crew is different, just like every game is different. Everybody officiates it differently. We're trying to be as consistent as we can. We do have a new player in here, and usually our procedure is to look at the side, look at the head linesman, and look at him and put a thumb up, just like a receiver would do, just to ensure that we're in accordance, with our alignment. And usually they'll either wave us up or will give us an okay. But we're just trying to help Isaiah, educate him a little bit more in terms of, his alignment and where he can be better at. But that was unfortunate. But
Was he doing that?
Jim.
Was he getting the thumb?
We didn't get that early because he had just come to us. So procedurally, we reviewed it, so I got to do a better job at that, obviously. But that was something that happens, in the course of the season when you acquire, new players and you're giving them that chance and an opportunity. And, there's some assumption in there that, okay, this guy's a veteran player. He knows where to line. He knows. But I think with the way the rules are being interpreted now, there's such a emphasis from the league office to get the players up on the ball. It just happened to be an emphasis from that particular crew.
The guys who had been warned, did they tell you that they were warned, or did you find out when the flags were thrown?
I usually find out pretty quickly, when they're warned. Usually they'll come to me in the pregame and they'll mention that. And then, of course, during the course of the game, a lot of the guys across the league will come over to the bench area and say, hey, Coach, let's get so-and-so up. Let's get this guy up on the ball a little bit more. That's your first warning, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of what transpires during the normal course of a game. It must have early, but I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it personally, but it got conveyed earlier, I think, to Brian at that point.
Was Isaiah too slow to respond or didn't consistently?
No, he was great. I mean, he's a really good kid. He's working hard to catch up and learn the things that we're doing. And, unfortunately, it just happens. It happens. I saw a couple games a few weeks ago where a tackle got called a couple times being off the ball. But, it's just an emphasis, that the league is pounding away at. And, we got to abide by it. We got to do a better job.
Is it a reflection to you? Like, I'm curious about how you judge your season so far. Is it a direct reflection to you what your guys' work product is, or might you be maxing out a couple guys that we don't know their ceiling, and do you judge your performance on different things? Like, what kind of season are you having?
Well, first off, I think from a personal standpoint, I do the best I can. I give our guys my very best every day in the meeting room, on the field, in development. So I'm very conscientious about that, cognizant about the development of the player and the improvement of the player. We try to cover every aspect in line play that you can even imagine. And it's drilled, it's filmed, it's also discussed, it's critiqued, with the player's eyes on it. So if you were in my meeting room, you would get a pretty good idea of what you were expected to do for that particular game based on the filmage that we go through on a daily basis. I'll give you an example. An individual drill, whether it's a reach, a combination, a zone, a gap combination, that's filmed. The footwork is filmed. The strike is filmed. So when the players get in the meeting, they see exactly what they're doing on a daily basis. So you can really gauge their rate of improvement, based on the daily film, that's being obviously looked at and discussed and coached and critiqued. So that's a real positive. And so there's been a lot of things underlyingly that have been improved, but the bottom line is you got to win, and that's the business we're in. And I understand that better than anybody. And you got to win. And, part of that winning is development and getting players to do the right thing on a consistent basis. So we're always striving for that consistency, always working, to be the best that we can be. So some years, you have some really good pieces, and you're working well and they're growing and they're maturing. And this year I've got a young group of guys that, you're coming in with a whole new set of techniques and tools, and a lot of guys have picked them up and have done really well with them. And then there's some other areas where everybody's got to get more improvement in. So that's what we're striving to do.
Those guys much, or they two of them?
No, I don't know. I don't have me pushing it. I don't have to push. I think for me, I get to I just more a manager, and help them, with things that hey we don't understand, and most of all is keeping the mind and the body. Todd does a good job keeping the body right, and my thing is to make sure I can keep the mind right because it's a tough game and it's not where you want to be as far as the record, but you come out here every day to compete and get better. So that's been the best part, and it's a standard in there that was set before I got here, and it's still there, and everybody works hard.
In the offseason, it was a talking point with Tavondre, the clear standard you guys as a coaching staff set for him, just keeping his body right and everything. It's been a while since we've talked about that. Has he done a good job of staying on that? Are you guys pleased with where he's at?
I think he's doing a good job of staying on it, and he's working at it, and I think he knows it's important. I think he's also understand how it's not you don't recover as fast as you think. You're holding up 600 pounds. We hold up 600 pounds out here every day, and even when we're just walking through, we're holding up 600 pounds, and then you go on Sunday, that 600 pounds is coming at you. So I just think he's starting to realize, hey, I got to take care of my body a little bit more as far as the healing process there.
The fact that big 98-yard pass last week was kind of a slight adjustment on quarterback and wide receiver's part. How good is that to see in terms of what they know what they're seeing on the field?
Yeah, that was great. They had a certain way they played a certain coverage. He happened to see a signal too between the DBs and I think it was between Gilmore and the safety. It was those two guys, and we kind of talked about it. They actually got a rep of that, a similar rep in practice, which is always great. Not sure it was going to be a 98-yard touchdown on that, but that was fun to watch. So, but yeah, they were on the same page. It was good to see.
I know it goes without saying, but cutting down on penalties this week is going to be critical, obviously, on the road against a good team.
Yeah, no, I mean penalties. You as we've always preached for a long time, is before you win, you got to stop from losing. So control the controllables, and those are the things we can do as a unit.